everyone to the Sun and Moon Update Show. My name is Gormizer, and we are here to finally convene again.
Поприветствую нас, Хайреза. Сказали, добро пожаловать. Может, погромче?
Kevin?
Yeah.
Some of you might remember him as
Blue without an E.
Io and Blue. Blue does not have an E, but that's Blue.
Это, кстати, собака, которая озвучивала эту собачку.
Hands down going to steal the show today.
Увидите
Also
потом.
probably be a distraction. And then Romanova there on the end. And you know, Kevin, you haven't been on
Ивил
here
Моджи
for a little while, so
Романова,
you're making a
Айо,
statement,
Эн
I
Блу,
think, to say
Ивил
the
Моджи
least.
Молли и еще какой-то чел. У нас
Yes.
сегодня.
First
Blue.
time.
So this is going to be Luna in game. Well, part of the noises you're going to hear. So very excited to have her in studio on Patch Notes. She's the star of the show, actually.
Hands down, easily the start of the show.
Absolutely.
And then Romanova, this is your first time here, so why don't you go ahead and tell people what you do?
Yeah, so I'm really excited. So I am Romanova. I am your new community specialist on Paladins.
Она говорит, я очень возбуждена, I am Ивил Моджи Романова. Я специалист что-то там по паладинам. Новый. Новое лицо. Фрайер Studio, что такое.
And just making sure that they get reported as fast as possible to our QA team to investigate. So the better your repro steps, the quicker we can look into stuff. So keep that in mind, folks, but keep up the good work because we really appreciate it.
It has been a great ride so far.
Well, as you said, you come through QA, a lot of things coming through. I'm going to be distracted by a dog probably 3 times, but that's actually really,
Don't
really
talk about
Я
convenient.
болтовню, наверное, переводить не буду.
He's
Там,
gonna distract me a little
по
bit
делу
too.
пойдет уже.
Either way, it's going to be really, really fun. But bug fixes galore. Once again, the hunt is
Бugfixи,
going to be the first thing that we
охота,
come through and
это уже
talk about. The
интереснее.
hunt has
О,
been this
стрим
prerogative
появился.
this entire year to go through, track down, and what you know about things we already know about that need to be fixed, or things that we are fixing for this update. And so I will leave this to both of you to be able to come through, Romanova and Kevin, to just go through and talk about the bugs and fixes.
Баги и фиксы.
So we're gonna get started. We're gonna do this in alphabetical order. Okay.
Sounds good.
Run down the list. We're gonna go with champions, like changes, fixes first, right? So we're gonna go with Androxus.
Начнем с
So with
Androxusa.
Androxus, we fixed an issue with sleight of hand where the card would activate regardless of ammo count, whether
Переименована
another
какая-то
step was
фигня.
used for the first time after respawning or entering a match, as well as we improved the Androxus dash.
Yeah, so we actually made a bug fix to remove the ability for Androxus players to be locked out of their ultimate. By doing that, we added a little bit of delay to the dash.
Они рассказывают про то, что появилась некая пауза между рывками Андроксуса, ну, из-за того, что они пофиксили баг с ультой.
We hotfixed and we had believed we had removed that delay
Они-
on all abilities other than a slight delay before the ult.
Они хотят убрать все задержки, либо уже убрали, я прослушал у каждой билд. способности.
On this next patch.
Yeah, should be back to good. All right, we're going to go down the list again. We're going to Atlas. So banished players will no longer gain or lose champion-specific resources for the duration. And now you can properly equip default weapon skins with the default skin. So good stuff there. Going into Cassie. So we
Cassie.
fixed an issue where her foot and arm would appear broken in the champion menu. So
She's just like really good at yoga. Like her ankle
Yeah.
is like
Что у нее
twisted
там
180.
проблема
knows
с
how to
моделькой была,
stretch.
что ли?
She's good.
She's been
Это
hitting
обычное
yoga for a
дело
while now.
в Paladins.
but we fixed her. She's not going to scare anyone anymore.
Она больше не такая
So,
страшная, как раньше.
next
Все,
we'll
ее
get into
пофиксили.
Dredge. So
Dredge.
with Dredge, we fixed an issue with Kraken where character movement would not update the trace location properly, which resulted in the ability originating away from your crosshair.
Yeah, so just to give a little insight on this, if players play Dredge regularly, they probably notice instances where they feel like their Kraken wasn't releasing where their crosshair was. Just to give a kind of
Короче,
insight into that,
пофиксили
there's
то,
a slight
что
delay, about a 200
ульта
millisecond
Дреджа
delay from when you
появлялась не
actually
там, куда
activate
вы
the ability,
целитесь
that
прицелом.
allows Dredge to kind of further aim and refine it.
Это вроде
Unfortunately,
по-другому.
though, while your mouse
Если я правильно
crosshair was
понял.
updating the trace appropriately to where it should go, if you were actually strafing left or right or doing movement through that, it wasn't. So that would result in a lot of instances of if a dredge is retreating or moving or trying to dodge, the trace would not actually fire where your crosshair was. So all of those instances should be fixed, and now Kraken should release where you expect it to.
Yeah, release the Kraken. And then the last thing for Dredge is same with how we had it for Atlas. We can now properly equip default weapon skins with the default skin for him. And we're going to get into Grover. So
Какая-то
for
проблема была
Grover,
еще
now
с выбранным
crippling throw
скином.
is now
Гровер
properly
сейчас
reduced by resilience.
Yep, that was a mistake. Now working appropriately. Also, something we actually don't have on patch notes here that I do want to talk about is that his radius, his heal aura radius, was not actually updating appropriately to both his new base when we changed it a few patches ago, as well as the Verdant Expanse card that increased it. So now that VFX aura will be, you'll see the true size of Grover's
Теперь вы
healing
будете
radius
видеть
once you get a game,
реальный
especially with
размер
Verdant
области
Expanse,
хила Гровера.
so,
То есть
should
в
now
зависимости от
be
того, какая карточка была у
understand,
дерева,
now you should be able to easily see what the range
эта
of Grover's
область,
heal is.
кружочек такой визуальный, он не обновлялся. То есть он был на месте по дефолту.
So
А хил был
Imani's
намного больше.
dragon no longer T-poses and persists in the world after death.
I don't think we should have fixed that one.
Yeah,
Никаких
yeah.
T-поз
What
после
a,
смерти?
you know, some fixes they're great, but
Да
you
ладно.
know, who doesn't
Неужели?
like the T-posing the dragon, right?
I mean, gameplay-wise, I
А,
guess the
дракон.
dragon's just like sitting there.
Дракон и
It's
Мани.
a little bit bad, but yeah, it's
I
funny.
mean, just
Помнишь,
hanging
да?
out. So, all right, and then we're gonna
Это когда
go
он после
into
смерти медленно
Makoa.
проваливался под землю,
Barrier
либо
Reef
оставался
now
в той позе.
activates multiple times in the same instance of Shell Shield.
Yep, it was only activating once. Now activates
Прослушал
multiple
про
times.
кого-то.
So nice little fix there.
We have a couple to get through for Moji. So for Moji, the
Moji.
first one's really humorous, I guess, in a way, because it could be a little scary to see. But we restitched Cuddly Moji's left eye so it no longer sinks into itself.
That was a
You
little bit
know,
odd. Yeah.
that could
Что-то
haunt
с
you
левым
in your
глазом было
dreams
у
a
Моджи,
little
но
bit,
это
but we're good
исправили.
now.
It's cute.
Я,
It's
кстати, не
cute,
видел.
yeah, it's cuddly. So we also
Дергался?
fixed an issue where Moji would continue to use familiar spray while silenced, as well as we fixed an issue where Moji could see third-person VFX such as Hunter's Mark or Mending Spirits in first person.
Yep, and that's actually the opposite. It was so we miswrote that on patch notes. She will still have access to familiar spray while silenced because it's an in-hand ability instead of an actual like normal ability, or it's an in-hand attack instead of a normal ability. So it was keep being silenced inappropriately.
So
Тут я
Moji
что-то
fixes
не
in.
понял
We're
сорян.
gonna skip down
Что-то
the alphabet,
исправили?
going right
Это
into
хорошо.
Shaolin. So with Shaolin,
Shaolin.
reticle now blooms while jumping, and we also fixed an issue where explosive arrows would slow Shaolin after they hit.
Yep, annoying bugs now fixed.
Исправлена ошибка, когда какие-то
Shrix,
стрелы,
we
взрывные,
fixed an
по-моему,
issue
стрелы
that allowed
замедляли
players to
самого шаления
unintentionally
после
break the
выстрела,
weapon swap
попадания.
for the animation between pistol and talon rifle.
Yeah, you would get a basically an instant fire without zooming in, no spread weapon shot on Talon Rifle by basically firing and swapping at the same time, breaking an animation. Now no longer the case.
All right, and we're almost through the end of the characters here, but Torvald, we
Torvald?
fixed an issue where when polymorphed with his personal shield with his shield active, his shield would no longer visually display for the remainder of the game, and also no longer retains his personal shield while polymorphed.
Yep, the mechanic of
Блин, много
polymorph,
текста.
Torvald should not have had his personal shield remain, no longer the case.
All right, and for Vivian, we have Joyless Eyes card now properly updates the VFX ring on deploy to match the increased area.
Exact same thing we did with Grover, VFX Aura wasn't.
Как с Гровером, у Вивиан тоже с
And last
отображением
but
была
not
какая-то
least, we
проблема.
have Ying, where
Это теперь исправлено.
just a little bug here. Replicant Ying now plays the correct VFX on low particle settings.
Yeah, it was just the different color. I think it was purple when it's supposed to be blue. So that's not what you were supposed to see. Now Roland, our VFX guy, has cleaned that up for you guys.
Yep, little stingy thing, all fixed now. So we're just going to run through real quick so we can get to the rest of the show here, folks.
these out.
Some general ones, going to knock them out of the park here. So we cleaned up some environment in the Shattered Desert that players were able to improperly look through. The ad refer now sends players to the correct webpage, sending you
Important.
to the right place.
Yep.
Always very
Блин,
important.
были бы субтитры, было бы
Players
легче.
can no longer access the item purchase menu after the top play preview. Options menu dialogue between escape and interacting with the exit button is now consistent.
Yeah, so when you would hit escape versus hitting the X in the upper right-hand corner, it would actually bring up two different menu prompts. Now those are one for one the same.
Okay. And the achievement, Citizen of the Realm, it was not able to be completed after logging in for 7 days consecutively, and that is fixed now, so you can get that achievement. Great. And we
Какая-то
fixed an
ачивка
issue where
теперь
cards that
получится,
activated off
получат
kills or
люди.
eliminations would not activate multiple times if players were killed by the same instance of damage. Those including Impact for Eevee, Watchful for Androxus, One Man's Treasure for Barrack, Stomping Grounds for Buck, Fearless Leader for Fernando, Rolling Stones for Ainara, Inheritance for Leanne, Feed the Spirits for Maldamba, Peppy for Moji, Primal Might for Tyra, Just Believe for Willow, and Encouragement for Ying. And we also fixed instances of clipping, pesky clipping bugs, with the 8-bit mount on the following champions: Ash, Bomb King, Buck, Cassie, Drogos, Fernando, Furia, Grok, Grover, Ainara, Genos, Lex, Makoa, Maldamba,
Много
Moji,
фиксов.
Ruckus,
Очень
Shaolin,
много
Tyra,
фиксов.
and Vivian.
Yep. Number of bug fixes in this one.
Блин, надо
And,
чекнуть
you
потом
know, we
после
hear-
этого
we hear you
всего
guys
патч
loud and
ноутс. Я
clear.
проще
Trust us,
прочитаю и
we
реально
are
переведу, потому что
constantly
на слух
on
как-то сложно.
Work, you know,
Так что
on
пока
the
просто
job here,
посмотрим.
right? And last but not least, just the last section is stuff that's under investigation. We hear you guys and gals out there. We hear you and the issues that you're having right now. One of the biggest ones is definitely that lag issue with the EU and Latin America.
Самая огромная
that is under
проблема с
investigation. We are
лагами.
looking into a way to fix that. It is top priority, so please hang in there with us, and we appreciate everything. The reports
Самая главная
help,
задача
videos,
сейчас у Хайрес
everything that you
пофиксить
guys have been
эту
doing, it helps
херню.
with this
В общем, так
investigation,
что ждите.
and we are
Это еще
getting
не
to the bottom of
исправлено,
it
она
as soon
пока
as
еще
possible.
присутствует.
We also have just some minor terminus
Вот когда у вас
issues
по
under
5000
investigation, such as
пинга,
his
вот
ult
это
in certain
пока что будет
situations,
присутствовать, к сожалению.
not working, as well as him getting into a bug state with certain abilities where they aren't fully animating. And then we constantly see a lot of friends lists disappearing. That is something that usually fixes itself, but we want that to be consistent, so you don't have to worry about that in the future. So we are trying to work our way through there to make sure that that just doesn't happen anymore and that it's constantly there. So that's about
Yep.
all I have for the
That's
hunt.
that's all the hunt. It's a lot of things.
Just a small section.
Yeah.
Like, and actually, it's funny because as much as like the hunt normally would cover, I'd say like it's usually a third of the update show. This one's like even as big as it can be is a little smaller because of the content we have coming
We got
forward.
a lot of things today.
You know,
Yeah.
we
A
can
lot
at
of
least
stuff today.
well solve the mystery of the wig as it comes forward. With it.
Speaking of the wig, I do want to give a shout out to Sarah Anderson, the one of the riggers on our team at Evil Mojo, who actually made this. She's actually obviously making a cosplay for herself and not for me.
Yeah.
And she started with the wig just so we can show it off here.
You're saying that
patch notes.
this isn't for you?
I mean,
I
may just
I
take
can't
it,
remember what
like-
the in-game model looks like, but you should rock
Тебя
it.
заменили на код мужика.
I think you could do
You
it.
really think?
Yeah.
You really think this is
100%.
it?
I-
Okay.
well,
Who are
Maybe
you?
we'll check out the in-game model.
We'll have to. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Then we'll make
I
our
am
decisions
IO.
later on. But
Yeah.
before we get to a new champion, before we
В
get
смысле,
to a
кто
new
это?
battle pass that we
Это
have a
же
little later,
Freeman.
we're going to go through the balance
Freeman?
section
Freeman.
as well as the
Is
new
Gorgeous
champion.
Freeman?
And there's actually one
Hello?
little addendum you wanted me to throw at the very beginning, and
Yes.
it's to do with starter loadouts, some changes that are going to be happening for I think a lot of champions.
Yeah, so we have redone, I believe, over 25 starter loadouts. Obviously, Paladin's been around for a while. The meta has shifted a lot. Cards have changed, and starter loadouts have not been updated in tow with that. So now, actually, one of our QA analysts, Anthony, who's actually you're going to be seeing him, on the camera today, controlling everything, actually went through our champions and made starter loadouts that were more beneficial, mostly to new players, right? A lot of
Yeah.
self-healing, self-sustain, things that we think will help players when they first play a champion.
It's going to be a lot of just, I guess, initial good feels for every single person coming through. And another big change that is happening this one that is not champion related, but I'm like thoroughly excited for this. I didn't realize how excited I would be over something like this because it seems kind of small, but it's going to be, I think, impactful. And it is that we are introducing map rotations.
Yes, for ranked exclusively,
Map
I think it's
rotations,
important to
это что за
say here, we are going to now have a ranked map rotation for every split that we come out. So that's going to be every 2 months. We're going to be rotating maps. We're going to have 10 active and 4 reserve to start. We have 14 total
Это как
maps
в
now.
CSGO, то есть будет
Obviously, with
сколько
that
карт
total
активных
number of maps, it's
в
hard to see
сплите,
everything.
и
We
сколько
feel like
карт
it was a
будет
little bit too
отложено
much,
в
and now we can
резерве.
kind of refine
Это
what maps
интересно.
we want players to focus on in a ranked split. So for this first split 4, we're going to have 10 active
Я
maps. It's going to
я
be
сказал
Bazaar,
говно.
Ascension Peak, Warder's
Если я
Gate,
сказал КС
Jaguar
говно, то всё
Falls, Fish
правильно.
Market, Shattered Desert, Bright Marsh, Serpent Beach, Frozen Guard, and Splitstone Quarry. And then we have 4 reserve maps, which will be Stone Keep, Frog Isle, Ice Mines, and Timbermill. So you will not see those 4 maps specifically in ranked only for the 2 months of Split 4.
And that's going to be an interesting time. No Frog Isle for a lot of people, I can feel.
Yeah, and
in
this
ranked is going to change the pace of their game.
This is obviously this is the first time we're introducing it, so feel free to give us feedback. Once the split goes live, we're gonna kind of analyze. Maybe we do 8 live maps, maybe we do 12. We're gonna kind of play with this and see what players like as we go along.
Потом посчитать, сколько карт в данный момент в паладинах. Сколько они? 4 карты выкинули, да?
Like you said, maybe there's going to be less maps available, maybe more maps available, depending on how things go. But now we can jump forward, moving towards Androxus, who's receiving not only the bug fixes earlier, but also an interesting talent change that is going to come through, which is completely, like, it's a complete change.
Yes. So if you've been following us on social media, you've probably heard this already. Androxus, and this is actually an AOC request, mostly driven through a lot of community feedback wanting Androxus' old revolver to return. We like how his revolver is at base now. We think it's good for him, but we do want to give players the ability to kind of access that more high skill cap.
Это, по-моему, на пульке,
Slower
нет? Не
fire
на
rate,
пульке.
higher recoil revolver. So you can see it in here right now. It's going to be doing a lot more damage. We have increased the damage from 520 to 600. It does not lose accuracy when it's fired. Its maximum fire rate has decreased from 0.5 seconds to 0.36, and it's no longer semi-automatic. So all you old Andro mains, go rampant once we release this.
It's going to be, I think, big. There's so many players I know.
О, дамаг повысили
Again,
из 520 до
like
600.
Ну,
это понятно почему. Типа медленнее стреляет, должен, наверное, больше урона наносить, понятно.
And it's important to note that this is 100% identical to what it was before when it comes to fire rate, damage, and accuracy loss. So you're going to get exactly what Androx's revolver was before.
The exact same. That I think is going to be interesting. That's actually one of 2 that's going to be happening, with the other one was a little later. Before that, we jump into Cassie, who's having a talent change and a card change. The card change is more internal cooldown, like you mentioned earlier with the bug fix. You fixed her flexibility. She can't somersault as well anymore.
That's exactly what it was.
Big game is getting a little bit of, it's getting reined in, is the better way to word it.
So Big Game, obviously a very powerful ability, very
Как там Big Game в
strong
нашем клиенте?
anti-frontline mechanic, but for 6 seconds that window was way too long.
Так, понижен
really
бонус
to
дамага
Cassie felt
с
like,
6
or
до
excuse me, on the
4
other side of
секунд.
that, if you are a frontline that gets
А
hit
он,
by
по-моему, так и
disengage,
называется
it
там,
just
да?
feels like
Большая
you're-
дичь, по-моему,
you can't do
называется
anything
в
for
русском
6 seconds,
клиенте.
you have to retreat. And also Cassie has so many windows to
Меньше
hit
времени у
multiple
вас
shots
будет,
on you to
короче,
finish you
чтобы
off.
дома
This
жить.
kind of brings that window down, makes it more reliant on Cassie being accurate instead of just having 6 full seconds to hit bonus damage shots.
And as I said, like, cooldown overall for somersault is getting increased, the internal cooldown for it, and that's just to kind of keep her from getting away as often, right?
So this is a change. We've slowly pushed Cassie kind of towards these changes where really
Увеличенный
a lot of her
кулдаун
strength
с 10
relies
до
in not
15
just her
секунд.
damage, but her
Блин,
ability
я
to
не
get
помню
away very
название
quickly.
талантов
She has a
на
5-second
English или
cooldown
на
movement
белых, к
ability that
сожалению.
instantly translocates her
Надо будет потом
and is hard to
чекнуть.
track for unless you're a very high skilled player. And then she has a card somersault that allowed you to reset that dash, and you're talking you're
Это
getting
может быть даже
somersaults like
карточка.
3-4 times in a single 1v1, which was a little bit too much, too defensive. So we increased the internal cooldown of somersault.
Понял, ты
so
смотришь
flanks are
миксер?
actually able to break the line, get to actually flank Cassie.
смотрю.
It doesn't feel
А
like
может,
she's
ты
able
меня
to
там
dash
где-то
away
поправишь?
and create that distance.
Oh, and speaking of flanks, Koga's actually the next one on the list.
Yep.
He's
Поговорим о
getting
фланге,
brought up
что
a
там
little
по
bit
Когу.
to match some of the other flanks. It's going to be his ult charge rate is getting an increase at base, so he'll just inherently have this. And because of that, you're having to change around a little bit with Blood Reaper as talent.
Yeah, so we've done a number of adjustments to Koga as we've gone along. He was really strong on release, very frustrating to play against. Kind of
Если я правильно понял, то увеличили скорость накапливания ульты
that we were a little bit hesitant to
ни
make
хрена
powerful on his
себе.
release. And this is another AOC request. J Flare actually
На
made note of
40%
this
там написали.
specifically. So Koga, when we released his ultimate, it was a big AoE for a flank that could shred supports if they didn't have a movement ability. Very powerful, so we had to put a number of restrictions on it. One, it charged slower. Another, he's locked out at the beginning of it, so players can get away. But now, with kind of where he's fallen in the meta with his other shifts, we felt like he can get his ult back up to, I think, a normal flank standard. So we have increased it by 40%, which is it's a very large number.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how Koga plays out with that.
And because of that, Blood Reaper's been changed now, so it doesn't increase the charge rate because he just got the charge rate increased, but you'll be able to move faster, so it'll be a little easier to chase people down as they're getting
Карточка у
closer.
Коги больше не увеличивает
But it's a little bit more
накапливание
flexible for
ульты.
Koga that he doesn't need to like ult right next to a player and to be able to kind of chase them down.
Так,
You'll finally be able
Cyclone
to catch
Strike,
up
это у
with
него
those guys. I guess
талант?
other flanks at that point who are
да.
going really fast, but pretty much anybody. And, well, other flanks, speaking
Koga
of them,
теперь
Lex is
на
coming through, and I
15%
mentioned with
быстрее
Androxus, it was
передвигается.
one of two changes. Lex
Чё
is
за
the other one
это,
getting his
блин?
old weapons back.
Yep, again,
Надо
another,
английские названия
another
обилок выучить, наверное.
change to old school Lex. Players really like that weapon. AOC kind of expressed that. The community was really wanting them back. So again, because of the talent system, we're able to give that back to you. Same stats as it was before, and just as an overview, it's no longer semi-automatic. Time between shots has increased from 0.35 seconds to 0.7 seconds.
О,
The damage
Стагалекс.
has increased from 320 to 680, and the ammo count has been reduced to 6, and then no longer loses accuracy when fired. So you're going to see some big damage shots coming out from Lex there. You see much slower, but way more impactful when you're able to connect with enemies.
And I'm interested to see how this is going to play out, because this is one, like, I again, old weapons, when you play them, Lex has always felt really fun to me, so I'm excited to be able to get in and play Death Pieces.
High skill cap players, I think, are going to really enjoy
They're
this.
going to love it.
Yes.
And the next one that's on the list, as you see those, I'm going to rattle this one off myself. It's just Leon's getting a change, and it's just that Enlightenment, which can hit multiple people. It's not going to be affected by Blast Shield, so really just kind of making sure that those work, I guess, as intended.
Mechanic cleanup.
And then Maeve comes through, and this is another one that's kind of a mechanic cleanup, because this was actually, I think, a big debate at one point was, what does Midnight count as, and what should it affect, and what should it not affect?
Yeah, so Midnight is a very, very unique ability, and we have to decide whether it is CC or not CC. So we already have it affected by Resilience, and this is not a hard CC in that it's stopping your movement, but it is unique in that it's really
Чё,
restricting
теперь
your
это
ability
на неустойчивость не будет действовать
to
на
move
ульту
around,
мявки.
right? Like, unless you are a player that has played enough that like, oh, I've memorized the map and I know exactly where it is. It feels like a CC to players because of how strong that ability is. So it's already affected by Resilience, and now, just to clean up the mechanic for it, CC immune targets will also be immune to Midnight now.
And so you're going to be able to go through. I'm interested to see if counter ults are going to come through, where it's just like, I just don't want to be
You can,
midnighted
yeah,
right
you
now.
can. But then obviously you're
you're
trading an ult
ult
for an
for
ult,
ult.
so we feel like it's something like that.
Yeah, and it's a pretty
Да,
fun
я
balance, because that's
пофиксил.
also one that it's affected by Resilience already, so it's just kind of more in line with that, as it is a CC, so it's being affected by
Ну, это
things
костыль,
that
поэтому он
affect
работает
CCs.
не очень.
Moji's going to be having a collision size reduction, so no more getting caught on your dragon's left toe as you're like running through certain corridors.
Another AOC request. Moji can be really powerful, but is very punishable, very easy to hit. Her collision size was a little bit too large for what her character model is, so we've slightly reined that in.
Yeah.
So she should feel a little bit more safe.
And I know we have a couple pro teams here already in the studio,
Oh,
and I think I can hear them already shouting with joy, because Pip is
Какие-то
next on the
pro-команды
list,
пришли к
and
ним
it's
в
a
студию.
card that has been kind of harped on a lot. It doesn't come through often, but when Pip is played, Moxie is 100% going to be in the loadout, and so it's, again, getting reined in.
So Moxie, we're nerfing it, right? So you're going to receive
Понерфили
6%
карточку
increased healing
Пипа,
per stack
короче,
when below
хил,
50%
когда у вас
health.
меньше
And
50%,
the big
теперь
reason for
будет
this, right,
меньше.
is that this is kind of compounding upon a really powerful thing that Pip can do naturally, which is not many supports, or really no supports, have the ability to heal themselves.
Yeah.
Quickly, instantly, in a burst fashion. Maldamba has his gourd, but obviously that's tick healing over time. It's slow. So Pip has this ability to instantly heal himself for a large portion of his health, and then we just amplify that into, he was almost getting a full life bar back. Sometimes, he was basically 1v1ing, you get him low, and then he's just like, oh, I'm full again.
And he didn't care about
and he doesn't have to
cauterize.
aim it, he just looks at the ground and he just presses the button, and it was way too powerful for the effect, and it was just, the card was amplifying an already natural benefit that Pip gains due to his kit.
And so now it's one of those things, especially because like I think a lot of people would look at it with cauterize again, like 90%, all of a sudden became 40%. You could just be like, cool, well, that healing doesn't matter to me. I'm just going to full tank it. So that's getting brought down. So instead of 10% per tick up to 50%, it's only going to cap off at 30% if you run that level 5. So I guess if you're a pip main, maybe you're going to
Я
feel that
кое-что
one.
придумал,
Probably
пока
not that
сидим.
much. Not as much as people would
Как
like you to.
по-другому
But either
включить
way, it's
Android,
going to be
чтобы
interesting.
не
Willow
отваливался
is the next one on the list. And I'm
коннект.
always excited when I see Willow's name. Pretty much anyway.
This
Надо
is a
будет
big one. I've read a
переместить
lot of
комп
feedback
немного.
about Willow. And
Willow.
again, this is an AOC request. So Willow as a whole, before we get into like the details of it, is a very powerful character that when she's meta,
Я тут понял,
can
что
really
некоторых слов я
define,
английских
right?
не
She
знаю,
has this,
поэтому не могу
what we
перевести.
did a while ago was remove like death and taxes and other anti-caught abilities or cauterize abilities and cards from kits because it kind of threw off the scale of the game or the flow of the game because you're getting these really powerful effects that normally are reserved for late game at round 1, and it kind of almost made healers non-existent.
Только сейчас заметил, что у него на голове.
Also has an ability that says 100%
Данил, ты это видел?
Yep.
and this can be a really powerful effect, so we want to be careful. We don't
Не
want to
обращал
just give her
внимания.
damage
Я это с самого
because we
начала.
feel like that's
Я
what
говорю, я
she
только
should
сейчас
do.
увидел.
In fact, she's kind of on the edge, and really just want to give players
Капец.
a better feeling of control with this character, because right now she feels a little bit clunky to move around with, I think. Very slow, very easy to pick off. So, start off, sorry for my monologue
Oh,
there.
no, it's
Да
good.
ничего страшного.
Wand of
Извиняться за свой
Overgrowth,
монолог.
we've reduced the max fall-off damage, or increased it, I'm sorry. It now scales up to 50% of weapon damage, up from 30%. So when you're hitting players on side, it used to only do 30% damage. Now it's doing 40% damage. So if you're not directly connecting with players, you will do up to 10% more damage if they're just on the edge. So it's a very slight increase to that.
Yeah.
The big one here is we have increased the range of Flutter. So this ability for a long time has felt a little bit slow.
Намного
Doesn't really
дальше
feel like
летит.
you get a good amount of
Классно.
movement speed for it.
Походу я теперь за виллы буду играть.
new
Кто там?
ability with
Кого-то
Flutter,
еще
you're going to be able to
изменили?
get a lot more
Лекс?
height, a lot more distance. You can see no cards. This is just base Flutter right there.
Вообще классно.
Also, this is a big effect on maps we found
Я теперь на
out.
лесопилке
Previous
смогу наверх
locations
залетать
that
за тобой,
Willow
Данил.
would
Во
have
время
to
жестких
walk up and
тренировок.
get around. Like, she can actually move from big points of maps
Офигеть.
to another
Это
and
классно.
stay on
Спасибо,
high ground
Бог.
locations. One thing she's always
Ну, если мы
struggled
вообще
with is
будем
kind of getting
устраивать.
the height
Мне кажется,
to actually make
с
a
вилкой можно и
blaster
в
rocket
кастом
launcher character
потренироваться.
feel good.
Yeah.
And we think
Да,
this
можно
will allow
будет.
her to kind of get that distance and be a little bit more weapon friendly.
And all these
Первое
changes
не
seem to
понял,
fit,
что они там
like,
сделали,
perfectly
вот
with what you
второе.
just said,
Yes.
right? Where it's just like, cool,
Вообще
you're
классно.
making the weapon feel a little bit better for being a
На
blaster.
второе
You're
не
making
особо
the wings work a
радиус
little
удара
better now.
радиуса
She's going to come through.
резко.
She understands how to fly a little
Yes.
better.
То есть даже по
And
тебе
speaking of
наможет
fly, Fate Flight
меньше.
has gotten a big upgrade. Anthony, you just want to do a quick jump there? Yeah. So you can see now
Ну, там
that
что,
the
Зандровский
turning
перевести не смог,
capabilities
что
of
ли?
this ultimate are way better, much more
за
easy
это
to
не
use.
смог перевести уходит
Can you
талант
actually use
один?
Flutter into the ultimate here?
Не.
I think will kind of show a good,
Это же был
a
кровавый
good
жнец.
Кровавый жнец?
notice of this.
Там типа скорость стрельбы вот
Stand
увеличивается,
3P here too.
получается.
So we basically reduced the deacceleration that she had when
Deacceleration
turning. That
это-
kind of took her a
А,
little bit
понял.
long to
Она сразу
actually get. And I'm sorry.
двигается.
I'm-
Она не
I'm
замедляется,
rambling
когда
here.
вы,
She
типа,
had
вот вы летите,
deacceleration
летите,
when
летите,
turning,
решили в другую сторону
specifically,
полететь.
That made it slow to actually change directions, and we have reduced that. So
Побыстрее
she still
меняется
has that
направление
slight
движения
delay,
теперь.
but it feels way more controllable for the player. And we think with the change to Flutter,
Это классно. Вот
this
меня
might,
и как раз из-за
better
этого
feel to
тогда
the
Дрэдж
weapon, and Fate
пульнул в
Flight
меня
itself,
сраным копьем
feeling
своим.
much more controllable. That Willow's
Все,
gonna be in a
минус
great
я.
And I mean, with
У
all
него
of
талант
this, she's
как раз
actually
был
also
на
getting
бесконечном
card
копье.
change in there as well, and it's going to be flitter, just increasing the cooldown just a little bit.
Little
right?
nudge.
So it's going to be a little bit more at the top end.
И какие
like,
теперь
if you
еще могут
invest
и
a lot into
отменить
it. But all
ульту.
in all, every single
как
one
у
of these is
Вокуса,
just
например,
Willow's
у
going to feel better.
Мако.
Yes, it's
Еще
all
кому-то.
about movement and feel for these changes.
Well, that's going to be fun.
Флиттер.
I'm excited
Блин,
to
я
play
не,
Willow,
не помню,
'cause
что
I
это,
miss
блин.
playing Willow a lot.
Мне надо, короче,
There's still going to be a lot of Leons out there. You're
пофиксить.
going to have to deal with them. Either way, Ying is the last one on the list, and she's coming through with
Вебку.
just a little bit. I want to say like a buff, although a lot of people I haven't
Connection
seen
loss,
running
понятно.
illusory mirror, but
Sure.
haven't been doing as much based on her auto attacks. But
Yes.
this is going to help her out a little bit more in like the damage department.
It's just illusionary
bit.
mirror is
О чем я
just
там
weak right now, so
говорил,
we've
я
reduced
забыл.
the fall off. So
Мне надо
her weapon
подсказки в
doesn't
следующий раз
feel like
написать
they're just
себе.
kind of like throwing bubbles at people at anyone past 50 yards.
Что?
That's kind of what
Как
it felt like.
переводится
You're like,
follow?
here, take 20
Блин.
damage. I'm like, oh, okay, that's, yeah, I tickled them.
That's a minor inconvenience.
В общем, они, наверное,
How dare
покажут
you.
нам.
Yeah, so at range, you just feel a little bit better. It's not a massive change, but just gonna give her that extra little bit of weapon damage for fighting people at longer distances.
And with that, I think focusing lens is also getting a little bit
Что
more
с
damage
расстоянием
kind of topped
связано,
off
я так
onto it, just
понял.
to, again, make it feel a
The
little
abilities, the ability's weak. It's like a 5
Когда
or
фигачите
6%
зеркалом,
win rate
пил,
below,
пил, ну
what
вот,
Ying's normal
видимо,
win rate is.
теперь
The
дальше
damage
бьет.
just really wasn't impactful enough, and so it's
Либо, не-не-не,
200 when you get all your
reduced там
bursts.
было написано, да, Данил?
I think it's going to be fun. That does actually
Наверное,
end up
наоборот,
including
порезы.
Ying. It's kind of hard to go past Y in the
Yes.
alphabet. We could if we had something for Zen, but we're not going to.
My
It's
rambling
not
is
this
now
update.
done. My monologuing on balance is now done.
And if
Sorry
you've been
about that.
able to
Мне
take
кажется,
a
за
peek
играться до
past
много
the
играть
years, if you can
будет.
get past the wig, you might see a logo sitting behind the Shore Patrol.
Ну, это, наверное,
and
будет...
that has been
Хотя не,
alluded
это не
to
будет
a
хуже,
new
чем
battle
Грог
pass that is
ДМГ.
going to be coming with this update as
Ну,
well.
на что вам
This is
подняли.
one that, I mean,
Надо
very timely
поддерживаю.
considering we're right at the end of June, coming into July here.
Yeah.
But also really, really good because I think, like you have said, Thunderbrush, a lot of people have been
Интересно, чья это
asking for
винтовка?
skins like this for a while.
Yes, they have.
Помнишь, я скинул?
We tried something a little
Тут её
different
нет.
for a summer battle pass last year with the Dragon's Call event. And definitely we got a lot of feedback that generally people felt we kind of missed an opportunity, you know, more of a seasonal one with doing more summer fun kind of oriented skins. And that's really what this battle pass is all about.
Гордон
Just
Фриман
kinda
так говорить умеет, оказывается.
And I think it almost immediately kicks off with a lot
Yep.
of fun because this is actually one that was hinted at on Twitter a lot. I
Yes.
remember there was actually a discussion
We
that we can
wanted-
get into with the hair, but it
Yeah.
is going to be Shore Patrol Knessa, which is the instant unlock for the Battle Pass.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Давай,
Okay.
запускайте уже бат.
We
My
can-
timing's great.
Yeah.
No, with the Shore Patrol Knessa and as well as with the other skins, we really wanted to incorporate some group
О,
feedback.
всё-таки это
This is
Кинесса
really
была.
meant to be, an
Короче,
event
Данил,
that we
короче,
wanted to make
короче,
sure we were
короче.
kinda hitting the right target.
Коплю.
Knessa hadn't really had
Коплю.
a skin where basically she didn't have a helmet on for quite some time, and yeah, this one just came out fantastic.
Придется играть за
I
Кинессу.
think we also have the turnaround, so you can see the hair there, and we can talk more about that in a little bit. But here's the voice lines.
Просто потому что
Good vibes happen
По-моему,
all the
она Агату не
time.
соответствует, надо потом
Hey, hey
пересмотреть.
you! You can't pee there. Keep it sunny.
So, like every lifeguard, she's armed with a knife
She is armed with a knife.
to make sure that everyone comes
Sometimes-
in.
У меня есть нож, так что там
Gotta
посторожнее.
keep people in line at the pool.
But, so she's coming through. Obviously, like there's a lot of cool things I think to break down in this. But one of the big things coming in this was that was thrown out like what 8 or more, 10 kinds of
Yeah.
hair to have for this skin, and finally you had a decision.
Yeah, we kind of landed on
Там
the
всё равно
decision
слышно
pretty
стандартный
quickly,
звук
the
выстрела,
fan
блин, это
feedback, but I
херово.
kinda wanted to hold the final result till, you
Вот
know,
новый
as you see
сервис
it.
прикольно сделано. Там звуки
Shoutouts to
полностью
the water
новые,
sounds.
ну,
Yeah.
как
The water
обычно
sounds,
должны
and
быть.
I just want
the
to
effects.
throw out
wait.
how hard that water has to be coming out to deal that much damage. Like that stinks.
Yeah, it wouldn't feel great.
Do you know who you're
Yeah, the
impressive
weapons and audio VFX really all came together, kind of sell that this is a water
Там
gun.
именно стандартная, что ли?
It just feels awesome. It's far and away probably my favorite gun for Knessa.
Yeah, this is out there for me too.
The VFX are incredible though.
Finding the crits, finding the shots. I
Ну
love
ничего такого мега нового,
skins
просто
like this is going to
изменили
be one of the
эффекты
battle passes that I know
немного.
I'm
Yeah.
immediately going to start going into because I always love like water and summer-based skins, and I'm sure a lot of the
Yeah.
community obviously agree since they were requesting a lot of this. And this
Yeah.
is probably like again, this is the instant unlock. This is what you get
Вот
just
звуки
for
лучше бы сделали
getting the battle
новые,
pass.
прям
So
с нуля.
if you want this,
Вот
it is
сервис очень классно с
immediately
новой.
there for you.
Going into this kind of round of art, we were a little concerned on how we were going to kind of execute the feeling of water tanks on these kind of water guns, but
Yeah.
Adam, our weapons lead, and his team really kind of just nailed it.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, they feel right, and it's kind of a hard thing to make a toy gun.
Yeah,
feel
I was gonna say
good.
they look plastic, but they don't feel like cheap plastic. I guess is the best way to describe it. Like
This
it
is
looks
your
like
high-end
a
water gun.
This is a high fidelity.
This is the
high-end.
Lambo of water
This isn't
guns.
like the dollar water gun that you
Yeah.
happen to get because you begged your mom for it on the way out. This is like the birthday present water
Yeah,
gun.
this is
Yeah.
the kid on the street that no one likes because he always gets the most powerful like water gun
Get the
during
best water
summer,
gun.
and he's just like spraying everyone and unstoppable.
It's got a ton of fun water effects, and that is actually going to be something else that comes with this. Not only is the skin instant unlock, but it also comes with a loading frame
Yeah.
at the very
Yes.
initial unlock. And
Look
you
at
can
that.
see it right there. A nice little
Это
sandcastle
стандартные рамки.
beach-themed loading frame.
An adorable avatar there too that is also included in the battle pass, Leon.
The sunset. Yeah, it's an animated avatar too.
Yes.
Oh, so fantastic. And I'm
So
excited because we've
fantastic.
only seen the one skin, we've only seen the one loading frame. Of course,
Yeah.
like every other battle pass, there's going to be other things that you collect along the way. But of course, at the big monuments at level 10, level 30, level 50, you're going to be getting skins. And, well, the level 10 one is going to be Shore Patrol Koga.
На 10-м уровне
By
Кога
popular
откроется.
fan request, that shirt finally came off.
This is amazing.
I like his
На
tattoo.
арте он
I wanted in a
прикольный.
Koga skin.
You know, we do a lot of splash
Что будет
arts,
внутри?
this one just came in so easily and
Это
just
тоже
really
другая
nailed
тема.
the attitude just right out of the gate. We, you know, had a ton of fun going through with this one.
I love the World Championship logo on the.
Давайте
so
же
good,
Мурат,
yeah.
покажите.
Everyone is just marveling at him too. They cannot believe.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
Look, everyone's just pointing.
There, I mean, at
even
that
the
point,
hang glider's looking
Yeah.
at him.
you're getting
You could shred cheese on
such
those
an
abs.
in-depth look at him. Like, everybody is obsessed with it. And, of course, now
Yeah.
we can take an even more in-depth look at him and hear some of his voice lines, which I've been told this voice pack is amazing.
Voice
So let's
pack.
go back to the turnaround.
Yeah, kills it.
The swell is prime, my board is waxed. It's time to shred the gnar. Watch out for rip currents and my abs. They'll both leave you gasping for air. Righteous! I'm friggin' stoked!
I'm trying to decide whether the voice lines or his hair is pulling me in as which one more. Because I love the hair,
Yeah.
but it fits, I guess, perfect surfer dude
Yeah.
Koga.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Surfer bra.
shout outs to, I believe this was a mix of Charles and Garrett who wrote this. Charles, the infamous writer of Americana, if you loved that one. So we think a lot of people are going to like this voice back.
And once again,
The water
the
effects.
water
Yeah.
sound, the effects, everything about these guns so far has been
Там, по-моему,
phenomenal.
звук от
And,
гильзы
like you were saying
при
earlier, like,
перезарядке.
having to make it feel like the water
Ага.
tanks are there and like have the feel of a water gun
Yeah.
while still shooting like an actual gun, like
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Oh no!
Тут со
again,
звуком уже
team pulled
получше.
it off wonderfully. We knew going into this battle pass, again, the weapons were going to be the big challenge. We knew we could make great looking character skins, but really selling the idea of a premium water gun as being something people would want to use. That was a big challenge. We were happy to go up against it. And I think we came out on the side with that fantastic gun.
Also, like most of your lifeguards, he'll, well, slice
Yeah.
you down if need be.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here to say, I'm
I
here to
like it.
rescue you. Do not resist.
Fun on the beach with the water gun, and then just in case he needs it, he's got the blades.
Well, he's
be
got to
able
bring
pull out.
everyone back unconscious, right, to look like a bigger hero. So
And
you don't have to talk about how he gets there.
the dash looks phenomenal, and I have been told, and I know Cirxus is about to do this, the ult line is fantastic.
It's perfect. No spoilers, but we need to hear it in game for sure.
Давай, утуй.
You're already dead.
I think there's like 8 VGS lines with bruh in them too.
Yeah.
I know Garrett came to me one day after they had done
You're
voice work
already
for this thing. They had had enough of the word brah.
I could imagine why,
Нормально.
like, I've,
Там,
one
кстати,
day of
кусочек
recording, you'd be
реплики
like,
из
"All right,
стандартного
Yeah,
скина.
never again. Like, they're gonna need 3
Его еле
months off
слышно.
of this skin to be able to come back and appreciate it.
Concept,
But I think
wonderful
everyone
skin.
watching is going to be very happy. Also, this is just a small detail, but I love like the tank, like the tank cap, I guess,
Yep.
on the back of the gun. Like again, just
That was
getting
on-
the feel of the water gun.
That was on Knessa too, except it was the lifeguard symbol on hers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, my dude.
Oh,
So you want to know the
If
worst
you-
part of playing in development builds is that GMs have unlimited ability to spam VGS, and Anthony is the worst offender. Like I just at the beginning of the game, he just like spams like 30 lines of VGS.
Это не спам, это пульт. Ну, это мелочи.
I never realized how much an inflection on the word bruh could then reveal like emotions. Like I understood when he was like bruh. It's like, oh, he means sorry. Like he's apologizing to you.
He's a Pokemon of the beach, really.
So when we sent out the casting notes, like we had the person do like 8 bruhs and did like bruh confused, like bruh sorry, like bruh apologetic, like that. And we so then listening to the casting notes, it was just like, oh, okay, now I gotta hear 8 bruhs from like 100 plus people.
Интересно,
Like, here
там
we
это
go.
вообще все фразы у них там звучат, типа,
I
бро
can
только
already, I know I'm
по-разному.
going to be hearing that voice pack.
Типа, бро.
In
Oh,
game,
yeah.
like
Типа, sorry.
I mean, at
Yeah.
level 10 too,
Bro.
so it's like it's easy to
No-
get to
no
level
time to
10.
get
You're
to
going
it.
to be able to unlock that one almost instantly. Like you could accidentally get this skin once you have the battle pack, and that is going to be everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's all like with the ult charge change too. Is like Koga's gonna be showing up.
We buffed Koga and
I'm here to rescue you. Do not resist.
buffed
Do not resist.
Koga.
Well, there's also a level 30
Микрофоном
skin
беру
coming
и
through.
смотрю,
Another
там
one
прям это
that people have been
мешает.
requesting for someone to take their shirt off.
Quite
Не
a
знаю, так
popular request.
нормально.
Yeah, it's Fernando. Chat. calm down.
Фернандо.
It's gonna be coming through.
Ё-моё.
And he
Talk about the
is
shark.
А look at this.
Yeah, this splash art came in great, but
Акула
of
прям
course, everyone
охренела
really
от
had to talk
Фернандо.
about the shark in the background, probably the most.
there's angry shark and then
Yeah, angry shark.
what
and
what
then-
facial expression is that? I don't know how to
He's-
describe that.
I
one.
mean, he's got
awe.
the best view of Fernando on that board, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
Теперь
yeah.
анимашка-то
Absolutely,
пригодится.
he is flabbergasted. He's speechless with that, but who's not speechless?
Время такой
It's gonna be
горячий.
Fernando, so we can take a look, turn around and listen to his voice back.
These are some hot shorts.
That shield.
They're like normal shorts, but with me in them. Don't worry, I'm certified for mouth to mouth. Fantastic.
These voice packs.
These voice packs
Yeah.
are.
Войск пак классный.
I think I've used the word phenomenal more today than pretty much any other day in my life, but I think it's
Yeah.
going to continue that way. I also love, like, the shield looks amazing. I love his tattoos, as well as the water fire.
Yeah, again, this was a difficult weapon to kind of translate a literal
Единственный
fire
косяк,
lance
там
into
другие
an
Феди
actual
говорят
water gun.
горячо, горячо, типа,
but
ну их же водой
we kind of
обливают.
leaned into
What the fuck?
some of the toy aesthetic to kind of land on some cool shapes, things that feel like, again, a high-end kind of water gun device.
That is not a water gun that I have ever seen. This is the new tech.
New
That's
tech.
like,
Yeah.
I could imagine making that in real life, though, like something that shoots water out
It
and then
just
someone that
sprays.
А, не, я
as
понял,
much as it
это они
can.
говорят
Yeah.
горячо-горячо не потому, что по ним,
Yeah.
это, не то, что они горят, а потому что
Get the
рядом
flamethrower,
такой
get the water
Фернандо.
flamethrower.
Обычно в
It's
доспехах
definitely
то
a
он
more
просто
technical
горячий, а
feat to
тут
come through,
он
but it
это,
looks awesome. And again, it sounds amazing.
сами
Like,
понимаете, во
the
всей
only way I can
красе.
describe it is like thumb at the end of the
Yeah.
hose kind of
Yeah.
spray.
It's a water
Ooh.
cannon.
Yeah.
Прикольный щит.
That, those effects,
По
the
углам
shield,
что-то
everything about
Yep.
this
не
is
очень,
phenomenal. So
как по
here's
мне.
the real question: You're removing the armor.
Yeah.
Ну так
How'd
эффекты
you decide what
нормально.
tattoos both of these skins are going to
Чё
get?
с
Like,
ультой?
how did those come onto them?
The Koga one was done by our concept artist Brian Wells, who came up with a really great idea. We just saw the dragon tattoo on Koga, and we're like, well, yeah, of
Yeah.
course, that's it. Fernando, we knew we had to kind of play up something a little more fun, so the kind of rose.
Звуки
the extra
доспехов.
sexy
А, это,
extra
наверное,
tattoo on it.
Фернандо
So,
рядом стоят, который
he's got
I
like
like
a
шумит.
the
little-
heart that says "mom" on it. Like either
Yeah.
one's perfect for him.
Yeah.
I really do love the materials on these weapons a lot.
Fernando even has a tattoo on him that was fancy.
Блин, прослушать, что он сказал.
Included in the final model. If you spin the
Филейная
camera
же,
around,
сейчас еще раз покажут.
appreciate it.
That's a very ominous and dangerous sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to see
It's
a
hard
little
to
bit
see
in
from
here.
the angle, but you can definitely appreciate it in the lobby. But yeah, again, this was another skin we did with a lot of fan feedback. It was a whole lot of fun kind of getting.
Ну, он
everyone's
стандартную
input.
фразу говорит о Галанте.
And everyone really loved them. We were actually.
Сказал бы,
I
I'm not
wasn't
natural, но
nervous
ты это
trying to
мега.
go the hairier route initially, and that was one of the funnier aspects we got from fan feedback. They wanted a hairy-chested Fernando. They got it.
They got it. There you go, everyone. You're, I guess what you wanted has been heard. I love. And this had, like, I mean, like you said, this had to be an interesting one to tackle because everything Fernando does has something to do really with fire.
Yeah.
And like just seeing the splash effects on like the ult, seeing the fireball there be not
Yeah.
a fireball and just be this giant just lug of water being thrown
Yeah.
at someone.
Again,
It's fun.
Our VFX team, led by Roland, they knock it out of the park every time. I mean, I basically walk into that department every time with just my thumbs up, just
Yep.
more than pleased with everything I'm seeing. And they definitely had a challenge ahead of them, and I think nailed it with getting
Yeah.
these guns
Долго
actually feel
тянут.
like, again,
Могли бы
high-end
уже к
guns.
следующему
And if
переходить.
this is a skin that day one you just cannot miss out on, you don't
No.
want to have to grind your battle pass to level 30. The battle pass plus will get you to level 30. So you would get Kanessa, the loading frame, you'd get Koga and Fernando, like all at once, plus anything else in those levels.
Yep.
So if you want to go through and get that, and it also gets you a little closer to getting the level 50 skin, which I think is going to be the one.
Level
I think
50, что же там?
I've seen this one maybe teased a little bit, but I think I'm more excited for this because I play a lot of Leon. It's going to be
Yeah.
the short
Leon.
control Leon skin coming through. Again, the first thing I'm immediately
Надо
drawn to
посмотреть
is
в игре.
заинтересован.
А
But
кто-то
the harpoon gun
прикольный, а
this
что в
time is
игре?
just typical water gun.
Ну, то он
Yeah,
около
Leon was
немного
one of the
какие-то
first
худые,
concepts
на
we
самом
kind
деле.
of landed on originally, and we felt with her just a straight up water gun solely might be maybe a little too repetitious. So we kind of wanted to lean in more of a harpoon gun, give Leon a little bit more edge. So out of the whole kind of shore patrol group, she's the actual serious one.
Again, a lifeguard coming through. She's got the harpoon gun to save you this time around.
Gun. If those sharks get out of line, she's got it.
I'm excited to hear, because we have the turnaround and the voice back ready now.
Guard your lives. I'm on duty. Hope you idiots know how to swim. I became a lifeguard so I wouldn't
По-моему, у
drown
нее
in the
кепки не
tears of
было
all
на
the
арте.
players I've nailed. Radical.
She's a scary lifeguard.
She's a
Yeah,
scary
I don't
lifeguard.
know if I want to be rescued.
When the first line you
Oh
hear,
shit.
like, just guard yourselves, like I'm on duty, like she's gonna be taking a nap. She's
Нельзя мне будет
not there to
отрицать
save
своего
you. She's just
себя.
there to clock the hours and get paid.
She's got a harpoon. She has a knife.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
Костыль
I
сломался сейчас.
love this weapon. I love playing with this weapon, by the way. It feels really good to play with.
The spin effect as well on the charge up shot, like that's just.
Костыль исправлен.
It's got, and like, I guess for the other ones, it's impressive to have like the water sounds to have those shots come through. But for this one, it was like get something meteor,
More
like,
steam powered
you
than
can feel
water.
it.
Yeah.
So good. I could listen to weapon effects all day. That's just me though. Being able to come through, of course, gonna get rid of her old self. She got the haircut
The slide is great.
fresh
I
for
love
this
the
as well.
slide.
Right? Like it's it's
Oh,
beach
the
time. You got to
effects.
make sure the long hair is not
look good.
keeping you too warm.
Gotta look good. Yeah, and the water effects with the slide are definitely some of my favorites. It feels so powerful.
That's really good
Yeah.
sound on that ult too. It just
Again.
sounds like a mass of water.
And like.
Go aggro.
It's weird to say this because it always sounds like an ult, but that sounds like an ult, right? Like
Real-
it comes through
real
and like
strong.
there's no mistaking what
Yeah.
just went through flying around.
Yeah.
And since this is perfect considering she has good
we
weapon
go to
sounds for
3
someone
p.m.?
who fires as much as Leon does.
Yeah, she does. We made a few changes with her gun
Also
on
got
the
the
skin
knife.
here. Her reload's
Ready.
a little different than her standard, as well as we kind of wanted to add a lot.
Надо команды тебе запомнить, потестим, будут ли они у
We
нас
did run into some
работать.
issues with some previous skins on the core weapon design, but I think on any future potential Leon skins, we have a lot more options now, which is great.
I love
So-
this slide.
If I'm trying to go through my memory to make sure Knessa didn't have it, but she's got a backpack on just to be like this is like she's much more the utility lifeguard
Yes.
than any of the others that have come through.
Oh yeah, no, she takes her job kind of serious, and she'll
Maybe
save you
too
if she feels like it.
She's got the knife, a harpoon gun. She's ready to go in. She's maybe not saving your life, but she's gonna do something. We're just not sure what.
Let's snake 'em.
Well, that's a fantastic one. And so level 50, this is the one that you're going to come through, and I think it's a fantastic skin for that.
Так, ну
But,
помимо
very
50
similar to
уровня, там
last
же еще
battle
бонусные
pass,
должны
Every
быть.
single one of these is going to be coming through with a recolor
With
as
the
well
recolor.
to be able to go through with the battle pass plus.
Реколор еще будет.
Yeah.
Ну вот как раз на бонусных
So-
уровнях.
Knessa, Koga, Nando, Leon, all going to be coming through. I think we have the splash art for those, so we can kind of, I don't know if we
Yeah.
want to
Auto
cycle
recolor
through
пошли.
splash art, turnaround, if we just want to do splash art, splash art, splash art. Going to do splash art, turnaround. So that's going to be the recolor for it. You can see a nice blue coming through. And now you can look at the turnaround to see what's going forward with it. And I don't think this one has any voice lines on it to be able to look at,
No, we
so
can
we
talk
can just
about
kind of talk over.
Voice lines are.
So with, I guess, the color changes that come through, like when you're making a recolor, what brings in the decision, like what colors you change to, how you want it to look, like what brings those to fruition?
It kind of always depends on the skin. You know, on the Steel Forge ones, we had the barrack recolor where it really kind of turned him into more of a Trogger than a barrack.
Блин,
But on these, we
там
just
чат
kind of want to go for
заглянул
more
мне
fashion-oriented options. So, like, if you don't like the base swimsuit, maybe you
Не,
like
я
this
не
one
буду
instead.
Come
озвучивать,
through.
что там
There's
я
going to be the
увидел.
Leon one. You're going to be rocking the bright yellow.
А, нет, была у
I'm
меня
actually a big
кепочка,
fan
ну
of
ладно.
this Leon
I
versus
actually
her
really
base.
like those. Those
Yeah.
colors look really, really good together, and it matches. Like, it's weird because like I don't know a single thing about fashion, but I love the
Yeah.
way her hair looks with this. But I might just like the way her hair looks.
Yeah,
I'm attached to hair. That's
Mina
what I'm
Lee
learning today.
designed this skin, and she just killed it. It was just one of those skin concepts we see come through. They're like, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Change nothing.
And I think we have the turnaround for this one as well to be able to kind of go through and look at. And there it is. Very similar, as you could imagine.
Yeah,
from
Ну
yellow
the
что,
is
screen.
great.
реколоры
Still has
смотреть
the knife
будем,
at the
что,
ready,
ну
but
видим, что
the
цвета
yellow
другие.
It's harder to read the word lifeguard, but based
Классно,
on
да?
Yeah.
the way she was acting,
Тебе как
that's
Данил?
not a problem
Вариант?
for her. She
She's
wants
just
to look
guard.
good.
There's no life in it.
being able to come
Да,
through.
норм.
It's also going to have Fernando and Koga.
Ну,
I don't
я
know which one's
куплю.
up next.
Вот
It's gonna be
этот
Fernando. He's
Нандо,
wearing the
блин.
white trunks this time around, a nice white surfboard.
Блин, это
Admittedly,
вообще...
there's not a lot on
Я
Fernando
теперь Нандо буду
colors,
чаще
but still
играть.
appreciate it, especially in the weapon.
Well, the thing I love is that no matter what, that one shark behind him is just perfectly in awe.
Yep.
And there
У
you
него
can
же
see
теперь
white
лицо
and red is-
постоянно видно будет.
Like, I
У
guess
него,
it's
кстати,
just the
анимация
inverse
та
of
же.
what it would have been before, because
Yeah.
that's typically the lifeguard colors. But having the
Интересно,
white
если
and
она
red,
такая
it
же,
feels
это
very,
херовая,
very
ну,
solid.
Yeah, it
личико
just
у
tends to
него
pop.
херовый такой же,
And
мыльный.
there's Koga. Once
Или
again
его,
going
по-моему,
through.
исправили.
I
Кога.
just,
Ну
now
да,
I'm
его
looking
тут
at the
что-то
details.
подкачали,
I'm
он
less distracted by how
там
great Koga looks without his
Yeah,
shirt.
не такой.
Again, seeing how many people
Ты
are looking
посмотри
at
на
it,
его ноги на
Yeah.
распре
him,
модели.
and seeing
Ну.
whatever they can do. Like,
Ну
it
да.
is just incredible.
Блин, ну,
But there's going
да,
to be a
кстати,
little
да.
more white again coming out on top. The red,
У него
yellow.
правая нога
Ай,
стоит,
Yellow
это
trim.
неизвестно
But
где.
again, all these recolors will be in the battle pass.
У него игры
Plus,
большие,
come through, and
а
yeah,
вот эти
you happen to
вот,
like
забыл,
the other
как
colors
мышцы
maybe a little stronger
называется,
than their
ну,
base
в
skin. You
общем,
can always
то,
go
что
for it
повыше
and get
игр,
those.
вообще
And
меньше.
with that,
Как
there's
так
also a
может
couple
быть?
other skins that are coming into
Как
this.
он
Not in the
качался
battle pass
вообще?
this time around.
Через жопу,
The
что ли?
gold skins that are going to be coming through
Yep.
for two champions.
Одну
that I
часть
think
ноги
everyone's gonna be
накачал,
excited for.
другую
So now they're
решил
getting, I guess,
не
double down.
качать. Чё
This
это
one's
такое?
Knessa and one's Leon. Oh, that looks so good.
А золотая Несса?
Oh, that looks awesome. All right, I've got a new skin. I'm gonna
Nessa's getting a lot of love this patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Вы в игре покажите лук с
I love
асом. Здесь,
That looks
понятное
so
дело, красиво
fantastic.
все.
And there's
Oh,
Leon.
А золотая Лиан.
I love so.
О,
This is like probably a really
Я
weird
жду от
question. I
нового.
don't know even how this would come about, but like, how do you decide
Я
which
услышал,
parts are
я
going
услышал,
to
что
be
хотел.
like golden cloth or like the black cloth?
а, блин, не надо, это
We
ж не
used
надо.
to at one point kind
Это
of
Лиан.
really
Лиан и
push
Несса.
for a lot of presents kind of like black
Жаль.
cloth versus
Надо,
gold.
чтобы было
Ну,
Инара и
I think
Диана.
over time we're just
Тогда.
dialing up
Может,
the
еще
gold
покажут
more than ever.
Инару, я не
We
знаю.
find a lot of people just
Не, у
really
них традиция
like
по два
being
заводить.
shiny.
По два.
And it does feel more of that mastery, like I am just
Ну, хоть
decked
одна
out
хорошая
with
новость.
as much gold as
Ну да.
possible. So we try to minimize the level of black present in the masteries
Yeah.
now. And now that we can do really good looking metal, it tends to really amplify like
shines
the
out better,
quality.
yeah. Well, we also have a new DLC that's going to be coming
Новый
with
набор.
this update. It's going to be the Sacred Wolf DLC, which I believe is going to be a first
Что это?
for Paladins.
Yeah, this is the first wolf mount in Paladins. We were talking a little bit before.
Волк,
and,
лошадь.
Thunderbrush pointed out
Первый
that it's
волк,
not
волк,
technically the
лошадь,
first
паладин.
wolf in
А, это из
Paladins, because we
этого,
have
из
Full
Дэн
Moon
Рояля.
We do have
Victor.
full moon
Из
vector.
Realm?
But the first wolf
Да.
mount, and you
Там
can
за
see
боевой пропуск
really
давался
awesome.
максимальный уровень.
This will be available as a DLC during the kind of mid-patch, similar to how
Если он
we've
точно
been
такой
doing
ждет
DLC in the
халтуру,
past. It's
наверное.
going to be available August
Просто
14th
перенести.
for $9.99, and you will get
Ну,
200
здесь нарки я не
crystals with it as
знаю,
well.
это...
And if I
Ну,
remember
то сейчас
модельку
correctly,
вижу.
200
Вот он.
crystals is what, $4.99 or
Yeah,
$5?
Это
around
типа в этом.
$5.
You're essentially spending $5 for an awesome new mount to be able to come through. which is
Нормально.
perfect to come through, and you can see it right there again.
Nice little bonus.
Да,
The first
такой же.
wolf, and it looks
Такой же, да?
fantastic. But like you said, that's going to be coming a little later
Похож.
than just like so.
Очень
The update will
похож.
come
А потом
out a
сравнить,
little bit
я
later,
не
the
видел
DLC will
вообще
come
его.
through.
The update
Там.
we're shooting for like mid-July.
Yeah.
О,
So
там
it'll
чуваки
be
на миксере
slightly
пишут
afterward,
Realm
but yeah,
Royale.
you can
Походу
even
он
wait just a little bit.
такой
Да,
же.
я говорю же,
Remind
это оттуда
yourself
же.
that. And the other big news I think coming in for this right now is that we have
Халтурщики.
Yes, we
It's
launched.
been launched.
Yeah, we launched on Discord this morning,
Ну,
so you were
лестница,
able to
как
download and
обманщики
play
только
Paladins from the
халтурщики.
Discord store as of I think right before the update
Если
show.
ты понял про какой.
You not only can play and download Paladins through Discord, but now we also offer awesome new perks for Nitrate users. So each month you will get a combination of diamond chests and gifts for your
Про
friends, some
Нитро,
gifts
да.
for you, and some gifts for
Набор.
your friends.
Про набор
You can head on
рассказывают,
over
который
to
можно получить за подписку Нитро в
discord.gg/paladins, which is our
Дискорде.
official server, to learn more.
I think.
Я вообще случайно на него сегодня наткнулся.
I'm gonna have to double down on my Discord usage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Being able to
Spoiler
come forward
словил.
with it, but that's going to be really big. Again, you can just go through, join that one, and make sure you are a part of the Discord. The other thing we have going on for this is that there's a ton of skins, or a ton of champions, I should say.
Если что, подписка в
that
Дискорде
didn't have
Нитро.
direct
Я там
purchase. So
одну
if you
видел,
happen to
типа
play
одну
this one
вариацию,
champion
там,
at a
по-моему,
time,
несколько
you
когда
would
не
have to
говорю.
go through
Одна из них
chests
была
for
9,
who knows how many skins
99
before
долларов.
you could potentially get one
9
for your
долларов,
main.
99
And we're
центов
changing
в
that a
месяц.
little bit now.
Yeah, specifically 20 champions before today, actually, it's available now, did not have direct purchase skins, and we're going to change that, and they're all epic level or higher skins. These are incredible skins. A couple
They're
of them
really
are
good.
pretty recent. I'm just going to run through the list,
Yeah.
so forgive me while I do that. So Legionnaire Atlas, Exarch Genos, Renegade Lex, Omega Dredge, Nightmare Fernando, Aurora Furia,
Перечисляют
Robot,
скины.
Iron Madam Inara, Overlord Khan, Battlesuit Eagle Eye Canessa, Omega Koga, High Elf Leon, Cuddly Makoa, Shadow Lord Maldamba, Cuddly Moji, Mercenary Strix, Trick or Treat Talus, Omega Terminus, Dark Lord Torvald, Archangel Tyra, Omega Vivian, and Omega Zen. So those are all really cool skins, pretty recent skins too. They are going to be priced at 800 crystals each. You'll be able to pick those up. They are priced a little bit higher than our other direct purchasable skins because they are of higher quality and they're also directly purchasable. So if they are in a chest or an event, we're able
Я
to
сейчас
sell those
пропустил какой-то набор,
cheaper,
типа
but
купить
because
разом.
they're directly purchasable, they're a little bit more expensive. But we think they're worth it. They're
Посмотрим
really cool.
потом в ПТС. В общем, мне, по-моему,
Anyone who
опять
happens to main,
упало там.
well, let's say just
Да.
one of those champions, and you didn't have a skin before, you are going to be able to go forward with it.
Костыли они
But now's
такие.
the time,
Connection
everyone.
Lost
Now is
сейчас
what you
пофиксим.
have been waiting for. The reason we have a wig on Kevin right now, the reason we all convened, and that is that we have a new champion coming out, and that is going to be Io.
Айо. Это ее так зовут, видимо.
We watched you for eons, waiting, dreaming of the day we might meet. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Скдыщ.
Pieces of us hurtled toward your embrace, along with something else. The darkness. We were broken, unwhole, unworthy of your servant's kindness. But to see them broken too, they do not deserve this. We do not wish to fight, but we will do what we must. There is still hope left in the realm. And so I am here, so no more will be broken.
I'm here. Никого больше не сломаю, сказала она. Ну, потому что она саппорт, имеется в виду.
I'm gonna double down
А вот
and say
и
yes, I absolutely
актер
think you could rock
озвучки
the outfit.
Really? This
I'm
hair is
bringing
way
it back.
longer than
того,
I thought.
что там в
Yeah,
холодильник
it
как-то
goes, it
фильм.
goes pretty far down.
Что это, как
Sarah's
думаешь,
gonna have
там
a fun
вместе с
time with
ней?
this. It's already
Собака,
all over my
волк,
shirt.
еще кто-то.
But everything
Кошка.
coming through, I
Кошка.
think we're starting to see potentially why a lot of the last couple of, you know, the
Ну,
bazaar,
не сухой
when we saw
кошка.
Shattered Desert, there's a little bit more to do with the moon, little
Отъевшийся.
fox statues
Yeah,
all over the map.
I love people are already like I've been keeping up with the Reddit and people's theories about Io, and you know,
Io.
going back to Shattered Desert with the little
Прям как
spirit
Google
fox
Io.
running around the tree in the spawn. Someone's like, I think a week into it, someone made a post about like what it could be, alluding to Io, and then obviously released Bazaar. We had the full statue of Io like sat there in the center. People
Статую
finally
говорит на
got a
карте Базар.
glimpse of the shattered
Статуя
goddess
Io.
herself. So I'm really excited about Io, and I hope you guys will love her.
I think you will. I think we actually do have like the splash art. Obviously, you just got to see her in the cinematic, but you can kind of see again the freeze frame, soak it all in. Her as well as her fox standing right next to her.
Это лис.
Yep.
Лис.
Blue, you're just so adorable.
Fox.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. There's a dog at the table,
It's a great dog.
and admittedly,
Лис, которого
for a
озвучил
good reason. You
Дога.
missed the yawn. Sorry,
Песик,
everyone in
собачка,
chat.
собакен.
We also have
То
the
я
turnaround,
слышал.
the voice pack to be able to kind of listen to that, and then we can dive more into her lore.
Even the smallest being can alter the course of the future. I once knew a joke, but now, how did it go? Our light encompasses all.
Лук с воображаемой
So,
тетивой и
I
стрелами,
noticed
скорее
you're
всего,
missing
будет.
the
Сейчас
long
посмотрим.
braids, but,
Yes.
you know, admittedly, as
Those
I've
take-
learned with
Его
a wife that
изменили,
cosplays, braids on
внешний
wigs
вид.
make them obnoxiously
Сегодня
heavy.
лазил,
So it's
смотрел.
probably for the better right
Yeah,
now.
Sarah
Нашел
made
там
this
концепт
headpiece
древний.
because she's making this full cosplay, I believe, for HRX. She made this in the last 2 days, and it took her like 16 hours. She said. So
casually.
she dedicated a
Она
lot of
маленькая,
time to
прям
get
как
this
мой он.
for me for Patch Note Show. So here's Io.
Yeah.
Where do we
Break her
start?
down.
Where,
I mean,
where are we starting here?
I'm gonna throw it out. She is a support.
Yes.
And I think
Она
like
support,
all
если
the,
чё, сразу
all the stuff
говорят.
like her health, the abilities we
Не
can
надо
go into,
дамажить
but
как загрелка.
just the backstory. Where like what? Who is Io?
Что
Why is
знаешь,
she
народ?
here?
So yeah, if you listen to the
Я буду
lore
бомбить,
video
они
right
будут
there,
пытаться
Io is
как
essentially
задамаживать
she is
из
the moon
Io.
goddess, basically the moon herself.
Даже
And
Хайреза
then
вам
an
говорят, это
unknown
саппорт, если
corruption,
что.
collides with the moon and shatters the moon. And obviously, because Io is the moon and the
Мне
moon
интересно, как она, каким образом она хилит и насколько. Не знаю, мне не интересно, как она стреляет, понятно.
They're essentially the representations of the moon in Paladins, and there's been people that have worshipped this moon goddess Io for eons and eons and eons. And now that the magistrate has kind of marched onto the moon shards and shattered desert, and the people of Bazaar, Io has come back to defend her people and take her rightful place as the moon goddess.
And so, as was said, anyone who is a support main, rejoice, because you are getting a new support to be able to come through and play, which I think just on base should be exciting. But I think going into who she is, what she does, is going to be even more impressive. But
Ты видишь эти команды, которые нам пишут? Интересно, за что отвечает именно цифры в конце после бота? Вот Кэсси он спавнил, Кэсси автофайр, который стреляет с цифрой 1, а Фернандо с цифрой 2.
Yeah, she has standard support health, the normalized 2200, so she is going to be just as killable as any other support in the game, but obviously you can modify that through a health card.
And you also will be able to modify that through some of the abilities we'll get to later, but the first one that you see obviously might recognize it if you've been playing the game for a long time as well.
Кстати, не находишь похожим на старый лук Кэсси? Вот он точно так же располагался и... Так, 400 дамага каждые 0,6 секунд.
This is support that can obviously not really deal a ton of damage, but it's very consistent chunkiness.
Yeah.
So it's the same damage as Maldamba, slightly slower, and it doesn't have the arc. And with no fall off, you can actually do a good amount of assist damage to help secure teams for your kill.
I'd argue it's the scariest kind of damage because it's just low enough that you're not going to register it.
Yep.
But it's unless you're the one dealing it. Like you're gonna notice if I hit 4 shots, that's 1600. But if you're getting hit 400 every now and then, you might be able to glance over it. But she comes through, so has a little bit of damage and a little bit of bite to her. And then her alt fire is going to be where her heal is. It's going to be the Moonlight.
Yes, so Moonlight, Io's going to hold and channel Moonlight into an ally, healing them for 135 every 0.15 seconds. This is our first healing resource, or our first really resource champion that their entire heal is dedicated on that. So you're going to see this is a little bit similar to so you actually have to look at your target and hit them, and then once you're connected to your ally, you're actually able to get a little bit more leeway to look away if you just want to move slower instead of fast like that. So connect the heal and look a little bit to the left. You can
Это
see
как у
that it
ангела в
will,
Overwatch, я с чем могу сравнить? Вот, пока хилишь, полосочка эта убавляется, чтобы продолжить хилить, надо как раз таки не хилить тиммейтов. Ну, с нехилом у многих проблем не возникнет. Надо делать паузу.
It's important to note that it's precision to initiate it, so players can select their targets with refinement when a lot's going on. But then you connect to the player and you get a lot more leeway to move left or right. Important to note too, if you actually break that threshold of how far you can turn left or right, you'll reattach if another player is in the area. So you can see it kind of jump here. If we get energy filled up a little bit more.
Need that, and that's actually, I guess, the other thing, because you can look at it here.
Yeah.
You have that Moonlight bar,
yes,
where it's like you cannot heal if it's empty, so you're going to have to kind of use your heal a little more safely.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to pay attention to this resource.
And the important part about a resource healer too is that once you're initiating the heal, you have to retain on it. So a lot of the heals in our game are just like point and click.
Yeah.
I'm going to initiate it, and then I can go immediately to damage. So Io specifically. That's not intentional. So we will get that one fixed. We have a long PTS. We did not mean that. I've never seen that bug. So make sure to play her on PTS.
Сказали, что пофиксят во время PTS.
But she is going to have to choose
ты видел это
between
дерьмо?
Sticking and healing on an ally or trying to fight them and use other abilities because it's not
Я этот стрим и запишу в Full HD, специально я сохранил себе, это будет уже второй баг, который произошел прямо на стриме. Первый был это, первый, который я видел. Эмоцию показывать стандарт. Первый был это Виктор. Анимацию хотели показать легионера, по-моему.
We brought
И,
Blue
в общем, он
onto the
такой
show,
в
and not
Т-позе
just because
херакс,
it's
и
always
все,
awesome
и
to have
они...
a puppy come through and be on the show.
Тот, кто
although I do
показывал,
know
он
that
в
I'm going to
панике
Blue to
был,
have
типа,
thought
что
about that
делать,
later.
она же так быстро не
But
отменяется
it is
после
because Blue
обновлений.
was a voice for the game.
Yes,
And
Blue
being
is
able to come
actually
through.
the
Что это
voice
такое?
actress
А это, наверное,
for
зона хила, я так
your
понимаю,
pet
да?
fox Luna.
Your guardian spirit.
Your guardian spirit. So this ability is called Guardian Spirit. You summon Luna to fight alongside you. She will also rush and stun enemies that have been marked by your light bow every 15 seconds. And then she can be resummoned to a new location every 8 seconds. So this is
Так,
oh yeah, that's the
станет
death
врагом.
stance. It's called Grilled. So have fun.
Блин.
So the big thing about this is you know we wanted to make a pet tamer because we
Это
don't
как
have a
турель,
character that
короче.
actually generates a pet or controls them. But having the pet kind of run wild in our
Если я
world
правильно
can be a
понял,
little
когда
bit
эта
messy.
фигня стоит, когда лист
So we
стоит,
really wanted
извиняюсь,
to make this
стреляешь
specific
по
pet
какому-нибудь
stay in
врагу,
one location
он летит, станет его,
when you
ну,
use
если
it,
правильно.
but feel alive. So you can see we put a lot of effort, and shout outs to the animation
В
and our
обзоре
tech
нормально
artists
переведем
who put a
потом.
lot of effort into Luna to make her feel alive and active, right? She floats, she feels almost like a character, she's very obvious. So this isn't something that players should ignore. I think it's important to note that. Like, her design is based around her both having this channeled heal and also controlling this fox and moving it around. So it's an 18-second cooldown actually to first deploy her, and then when she dies, it's another 18 seconds. But every 8 seconds, you can move her around, which you're seeing Anthony do right now.
And not only are you seeing that, but that she's also one of the, I guess, I don't know if it counts as deployable pet, I guess is the best way to word it, but
Ну,
can
полноценный
capture the
пет,
objective.
питомец,
You can leave
пока его
Luna
не
on
убьют, он
Yes.
the
будет.
point.
So part of making
У
this
него
character
даже
feel
полоска
alive
с ХП
is giving
есть.
her the ability
Будет
to
помогать вам.
actually capture objectives, which in playtest
Откат
has been
10
very
секунд после
interesting. We've had
смерти.
people drop Luna on the point and then go on the siege engine and then go off and fight others. We've seen her just contest, right? Just drop and contest. You know, sometimes you're on those 99.99. Sometimes Luna can buy you that extra time. She has 3,500 health at base, and she does not disappear after time. There's no time limit on Luna. You only have to kill her to
Смотри,
get the resummon.
пока
She
питомец
also has
там,
combat healing,
на
so if
на
players
поинте,
stop
он
focusing
считается
her,
за
she
игрока,
starts to
захват
regenerate
идет.
her health. In addition to that, she is affected by Bulldozer. She is a pet
Очень
similar
полезно.
to Amani's Dragon, which is how we modified what Bulldozer did when Amani released.
This is the year of Bulldozer. Like,
Yeah.
it went from being like just almost no reason to buy it unless they happen to stack up Nara, Barrack, and Ying on one team to that item is 100% worthwhile coming through here. And I think that's going to be interesting because, like you said, cooldown is very large if it does die off. So as the Luna player, or as the IO player, you have to keep track of your health bar, not only yours, not only your teammates, but also wherever you happen to leave your pet.
And can we actually take a look at Luna's attacks? I don't think I mentioned it, but she actually has an attack chain. So it's a light, heavy attack chain. So it's a little bit of damage into a hard hit at the end. What's really cool that I like about this is that she has a little bit of intelligent tech with her that she will actually focus the player that Luna has that Io has marked last. So you can see the stun is also
Понятно, луком
only
можно указать
initiated
цель,
through this,
на которую будет
and it has a
фокуситься
15-second
лис.
timer. You have a quick little glance at the bottom left hand of your screen. We have a Luna icon
Luna.
that's really just there for you to glance and see the cooldown. You see once
Ну,
it comes
дамаг
up,
у него
it
такой себе.
flashes.
Типа он,
The player on the receiving
когда
end of
летит
this gets a very
на
unique
кого-то,
tell.
300
They have a
наносит.
grumpy bomb style indicator, so we want to
Потом
make
по
it obvious to
180, ну
players.
это мало.
And you're just going to be moving Luna around through the world. You could see this aura. We haven't mentioned this aura around her. This is actually her first talent. So the first
Тиммейтам-то
talent,
он
her
помогает,
default lifelink,
хилит.
actually grants an AoE healing aura.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing that aura. It won't be there by default.
Yeah, so that's going to be something that you can
300
choose or
секунду.
change. Of course, I think
Мне кажется, это полезнее, чем
already in this
атаковать
kit, I'm
кого-то
going to say that
этим
this
питомцем.
is very, very heavy. Like, the players that are, like, cognizant are going to be so amazing. Like, I'm excited for IO highlights because I want to see what is going to be accomplished with her.
That's one of the big things I wanted to bring into this champion specifically is I wanted it to feel like a player could jump in and play IO and it feel easy and they feel effective, right? Like look at an ally, hold the heal, you are attached to them, you get a little bit more leniency on left or right. You can kind of wave over your allies and switch targets very friendly, but you can also disengage the heal and then re-engage.
И еще его и хилить можно.
Trace. and so you can be really accurate in the middle of team fights if you're that skilled on who you want to heal. And then Luna, as
можно на поинт, допустим, поставить вот на карте Stone Keep, на балкон залезть, поставить эту штуку на поинт, хил по нему зажать и спрятаться. Правда, тиммейтам не очень-то будет хорошо, наверное, всего 30 секунд, хотя не знаю. Все-таки прижигание.
And then he would actually be fighting people and mark them, and then move Luna to them. So once Luna got to the location, they would immediately initiate the stun. So there's a lot of small, intricate things you can do.
Это первый талант, оказывается.
You're just gonna have
Надеюсь, остальные покажут. Интересно.
Your team naturally.
And that, she just blows it out of the park. Like, this is amazing already. And again, there's still 2 more abilities. One of them, admittedly,
так, ну если там написано, что Луна теперь хилит на 300 в секунду, рядом стоящих тиммейтов, значит остальные не хилят.
This ability doesn't do any like damage or effect. This is strictly an ability for you to get away quickly. She has a number of cards with this. You can see the shield on top of it.
Yeah.
And I think we have the Skywalker card equipped right there too. So there's a card that actually, as you're firing your light
Классно, главное за карту не улететь.
And air control. So if you want to attach, can we just attach rank 5 of Skywalker? And then this is going to reduce your gravity by a lot.
So you can stay up.
You're going to be able to carry that momentum a very, very long way.
Гравитацию убавляется, можно лететь. Как Джена с сеткой.
There's not as much, I want to say, high ground. Like right there, I think it's more noticeable, but like when you're looking at a map like, let's say, Timber Mill, even though it's getting
даже Дженнес бы уже упал к
ranked
этому
when
времени.
you're playing this in casuals, you just backflip from building to building. Like,
Это прикольно. Если еще есть карточка на контроль в воздухе, то можно взлететь, просто летать по карте. Быть очень такой сложной мишенью для косожопой всяких игроков.
Reposition yourself, control yourself around corners. And this is important to note, this card only works while firing, right? So there's a limited time that Io is going to be up there. She can't just sit in the air. There's also a card that does this with her heal as well. It's called Moonwalk. So you can be healing, backflip, and then also just continue to heal while carrying your momentum and flying through the sky.
So a lot of stuff that, like you said, can kind of augment this lunar leap to make it more than just a lunar leap. It can be a little more.
Yeah, and you also don't interrupt your heal when you lunar leap. So Anthony, you can show just if you're healing someone and then you backflip, you can continue healing them. I think that's very important.
Да, во время этого полета можно продолжать хилить. Точнее, во время хила можно улететь, и хил не запустится. Это классно. Фигня, да, скорее всего, для ультимейта здесь стоит. Он, скорее всего, дамажит.
This is champion the montage.
Champion the montage.
Or montage the champion, I reversed that.
And now we have one more. You can see it in the bottom right of the screen. The ultimate, and it's called Be Gone.
Be Gone. Io projects an ethereal manifestation of Luna. Sends it forward. Enemies caught will be pulled along the travel path, and they'll take 800 damage when it collides with the wall. So this ability can actually ride both the ground and ramps, which is an important part of it. We were kind of looking like, what did we not have? In an ultimate, and we really didn't have anything that carried players for a support, right? We have Genos that's like line beam damage. We have Ceres that's like deployable, pull players in. We have Maldamba Sphere that's like
push players out,
but we don't have like grab and reposition. And so we've had a number of very interesting play tests with this ability, right? This is an ability that can strengthen depending on map, right? You can like fire people off the edges. I know Rafe actually, I've seen him do some really nasty stuff on Fish Market as players are trying to push. So this is an ability that has, I think, a wide range of uses.
Yeah, and kind of like, it's a weird way to describe it, but if you want to, like, any time that you would have seen a Torvald ult that could be effective, this can kind of hit the same place. It's a little harder to connect, but also a little easier to connect at the same time. So again, riding that thin line of awesome.
And you have full control of positioning toast, so you can fire it, and then it doesn't actually fire, so you can re-aim after you start.
Мне кажется, на каком-нибудь острове лягушек очень зайдет.
I don't know if Anthony showed that off already. Yeah, so you can reposition, doesn't fire until you
Взял,
actually
снес
launch
всех
it.
нахрен с карты.
And ride up ramps. Can you actually ride it up one of the ramps there, Anthony, too? Oh, it's so good.
So I'm already, again, I'm seeing a backflip 360 ult push kill 5 people. Like if you manage that play at any point, either on PTS or on live, I want to see it. Like I want clips.
I'm very, very happy with how this champion has come out, and I really want to give another shout out to like our animation, VFX, and tech art team specifically. Like they put a lot of work into refining this, right? Like the VFX are amazing.
Кстати, если вас выкинут, я вот смотрю, ульта вас
her stun feels fluid. She actually, I don't know if we saw it, but Luna's stun actually does like she stuns the player and then actually does a backflip.
Можно еще развернуться, если вас кто-то выкинул, ультуете в него же. Типа, пошел отсюда нахер. Разворачивайтесь и используйте escape, чтобы вернуться назад. Прикольно будет. Надо попробовать потом. Она же не только от земли, надеюсь, отталкивается.
Sorry, I have been anxious about this character for so long, just wanting to show her off.
There's just so many cool things in all of the abilities that it's fun to be able to dive in depth with them. But there is still more that we have to cover with her. And that is, like you said, default is this lifelink talent, which is the AoE heal.
Yes, so it's 300 health per second. AoE heal. It's I believe a 20 or 30 foot radius, so much significantly smaller than Grover, but has the same properties that it's going to go through all. But players need to be obviously much closer to Io, or I'm sorry, the Luna to receive that benefit.
And then the next talent, the one that you would unlock at level 2, is going to be called Goddess's Blessing.
Yeah, so we have the AoE heal talent, and then we really wanted a pocket. I wanted a pocket talent that allowed players to be like, okay, I'm going to just like benefit this one person.
Второй талант, название не приведу сейчас, но тиммейты, которые были подхилены от ПКМа, получают 15% скидки в урон.
So really, if you have like one primary tank that you're trying to keep alive, you can sit there and channel not only healing to them, but also damage reduction. So that's a very strong combination.
You thought Inara was hard to kill.
Inara, кстати, правда.
Here's a Cassie getting healed. Yeah,
and you can see like the difference in how much those
Inara плюс Айо вообще классно, мне кажется. Надо с тобой в ранкеде будет так пробовать. Ну, ладно, сначала в какой-нибудь досаде или кастинг. Талант 3.
In situations like, oh, I'm against multiple flanks, I want to get dove a lot. How do I stay alive? So sacrifice. If Io falls below 200 health while Luna is active, she has to be active.
В общем,
she trades places
когда
with Luna heals
у
and Luna dies
Айо
in her stead. It's the saddest talent, but it's really good.
Количество ХП падает ниже 200.
Don't know me, Anthony. I will say,
и когда Луна,
it's a very sad death sound.
Фокс Лис, короче, активен,
It is very sad. I hope you
Айо телепортируется, хилится, и что же там еще было, естественно, я успел прочитать.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hurt the Fox. So they're going to be like, well, I mean, we're just Luna.
В общем, если хотите выжить, третий талант ваш. Вот если вот совсем плохо, с эскейпом.
Yeah, so sacrifice, it's got a 60-second internal cooldown too, so this is not going to happen every time.
Yeah.
And then we
это не каждый раз будет
heals. For players that are looking for counters for this,
у него есть откат.
She's got that
как у
delay, you're gonna be able
Громилы
to see where she
Фернандо
goes.
тоже.
So you get a little
Долгий
bit of
откат,
read
так
on it.
что...
Again,
Не
like,
спешите
there's a lot of
подыхать второй
strategies
раз.
with how to play, I think, Io, right? So, like, sacrifice, like, hiding Luna in a room, so in case a flank yanks you, right? Because you're not going to get that AoE heal, but you still have powerful in-hands, you have powerful heal, you can bring Luna into stun players, and then, like, if she's off to the side, you can trade places with her.
Я уже знаю, как ловить ее за Таусом.
Keeps you alive, keeps you safe.
Yes.
But again,
Осталось
like
подождать
you said,
только
it's a little more
PTS.
selfish overall, and it's perfect because you have the AoE heal, like I'm gonna be your healer. You've got the pocket, I'm gonna keep my tank alive, and you've got the I don't care about you guys. I'm keeping me alive.
Yeah,
like,
this was actually the talent.
Get out of here.
This is actually the talent that one of our better players in our playtest was using for the flank IO. Which was pretty effective. You had to really think about it.
I can imagine, like...
It took me a second. I'm like, oh, man, he's really using that, the sacrifice talent. He's making good use of it, right? You kind of have to play around Io a little bit differently when she has that.
It's gonna be fun to see.
Я надеюсь, ПКМ будет работать не как у Сырис, то есть у Сырис ты нажал, она хилит, надо прекратить хил, надо еще раз нажать. Я надеюсь, что надо именно держать. Ну да, там, в принципе, они говорили об этом. Это удобнее. Сервис бы, кстати, также сделали. Опять упало.
Oh, that looks really good. I'm distracted by her headdress and, well, Luna.
Golden Luna too. That's what I like about this. Yeah.
screams, look at me.
Золотая луна, то есть сразу выкатили. Смотри,
But, I mean,
3.
coming forward again, I guess we
Уже
looked at
3
some of the golden skins earlier, and now we can see it in game.
золотых
Golden
скина.
Luna looks awesome.
Yeah.
She's shiny.
This is one of my favorite golden skins. I'm also incredibly biased because this is my first champion. But
I don't think.
What a coincidence. It's your favorite.
this is my favorite champion. It's the best, the greatest champion ever made. That's what I said in the office until people got annoyed with me.
I mean, I talked about it a little bit online, but IO just as a character concept for us, we always land somewhere good, but she just kind of came together so quickly. It was kind of crazy. We just hit
Что это
the
было на
sketch,
миксере?
and the group looked at it. We're like, yeah, well, that's IO. We're making this. Just go.
Yeah, let's just go.
This is also the first champion that we've been able to show our AOC from like initial concept and like
Yeah, all the way through.
yeah, all the way through. and they
Recolor.
love her. So.
And I believe that's the recolor.
Он за золото,
Yeah.
скорее всего.
Feral IO.
Feral eye. I
Love
love
an orange
yeah.
look.
I was gonna say orange and blue it's another color combination that almost it never fails.
Yep.
And
This
then
is the season pass recolor.
Season
Еще один.
pass.
Yeah, so if
So
you,
very much in line with like the
Yeah.
Amani skins and the others that have come out.
Season
this
pass
is, this
recolor.
is Starfall,
Не.
only available in the season pass,
Капец.
so limited to players who purchase it. This is actually, I really love this skin a lot. I
Matches.
forgot I'm in this headset.
I couldn't tell if you loved it
Это
or
было
not.
After a while,
правда,
it's
да.
I just like was
Один
natural. I
реколор там,
completely forgot that I'm in
второй,
this, and I just see
скорее
myself on
всего.
screen.
Хотя, они, наверное, оба там.
We got to the bottom
Для
of
тех,
this.
кто купил
We
сезон
figured
пасс.
out why you had the wig, why the headdress was there. I think I still think you should keep the blue mark on all
Just
day.
all day?
But,
Just all day.
Yeah.
it might get a little weird if you're going to like the store afterward or anything.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would
just
be-
gonna like I could just like wear this all day and then just like grocery shopping at the end of the day.
Well, and
see
then
what-
continue your bout of best champion ever designed.
I am IO.
If they
Please.
ask,
am
you can just
Io.
tell them about Io.
Yes.
And if they ask you a question you don't know, you just say, IO.
Huh? Okay, sis, please
This
stop.
is what
well,
I do.
that one's gonna do it. IO comes through, and again, a lot of it's gonna be coming in, and I think this is the point where normally I would say
10 из
when
10
is like
пишут
the
там в
goal for
чате.
PTS, like
Yep.
when
Не
will people
знаю.
be able to finally like get their hands on IO and play her?
Yeah, we're looking before Friday is always our goal, and that's the goal that we've hit pretty much every single time with PTS.
Если
so
это
before
все, то
Friday,
я
guys,
бы, не
we'll have it out
знаю,
before the
оценил
weekend.
эту
And I think
обнову
the
на
other thing we
8
have
из
is
10
also
Yeah.
по
double
максимуму.
XP. that's
Also,
gonna be
some
going
cool
on.
stuff coming on this weekend. We have a double XP,
в эти
or double
выходные
Battle Pass
будет.
XP event, June 22nd
Чё?
and 23rd. So this, we just showed you a brand new Battle Pass, but if you want to finish up your Steel Forge Battle Pass before this one goes live, you are welcome to this weekend.
Well, that's gonna be
В общем,
fun. So you have something to
двойной
look forward to.
опыт вы
PTS
будете
as
получать
well
для
as the double
Battle
times
Pass, для
Battle
боевого
Pass
пропуска,
experience. And of course, we
для
at this point
текущего
we might as well finish
в эти
on blue.
выходные, и,
But
по-моему,
just
еще
to
какой-то
say it,
день.
thank you
True Star
everyone
Vision.
for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Sun and Moon update show. I think everyone's going to be excited for IO. I know I am. So hopefully you enjoyed that. But in just a little bit, we are going to be having Esports Weekly for anyone who wants to tune around and watch what's going on in the Paladins Premier League as of right now.
Да, это всё.
Or you can go to the Reddit and theorycraft about all the fun ways you can use IO. Either way, thank you from myself, from everyone here, from everyone at Skillshot. We'll talk to you next
Готовьте
time.
кошельки, короче. Все. Ну, не знаю. А Battle Pass нормальный, как по мне. Я буду копить кристальчики с помощью ежедневок. Денег у меня нет. По таких отдельно покупных скинов там, по-моему, не показали. Или показали? Они вот здесь. Are you here?
Yeah.
Не помнишь, они показали какие-нибудь отдельные покупные скины? По-моему, они только Battle Pass показали и чемпиона.
Именно покупные у кого?
Не, я вот у тебя спрашиваю, были ли такие. Ну, скорее всего, нет, я что-то не припомню. Сейчас глянем Patch Notes. Patch Notes еще нет, к сожалению. Эх.
Придумали сегодня поддержку.
Они про ПТС не сказали, когда она будет доступна.
Через неделю,
Ну, может быть, да.
как обычно. На выходных надо будет поактивнее.
Да. Двойной опыт. Даже у меня, походу, есть шанс получить алмазный сундук. Он там в самом конце, по-моему, на 50-м или на 49-м уровне.
49. Мне 40, надо до 41 уровня доехать.
Ладно, будем ждать ПТСа. Как только, так сразу запишем материал, обзор. Потому что стрим никто не смотрел.
Это 2 человека было.
Если было 2 человека. Ну ладно, извиняюсь. Если вдруг кто еще и в записи это посмотрит, то уже в курсе. Да, переводить лайвом это явно не мое. Вообще не мое. Я могу только наблюдать, видимо. Не, ну почему-то мне легче переводить Patch Notes. Ну, хотя я в основном беру уже готовый перевод. С Paladins, как оно там? Ну, я озвучивал уже. И исправляю его, потому что он там косячный. Основываясь на оригинальном Patch Notes. И плюс что-то они туда даже не дописывают, поэтому я все равно чекаю Patch Notes. Много багфиксов было. Ну, терминусы, кстати, вообще не тронули в этом патче. Это печалька. Зато теперь у Андроксуса не будет паузы вот этой между рывками, и, скорее всего, я теперь снова смогу попробовать поиграть за него, потому что мне это прям вот оно мне не нравилось, эта задержка.
Да как, в смысле, задержка после первого рывка или после?
После всех. Ну, не после всех, а между рывками. Ты, может, не заметил, но она была.
Какая? Нет.
Была. Ну, блин, даже Хайреза озвучили, и они это исправят. Она реально была.
Так когда стреляешь, задержка исчезает.
Когда стреляешь?
Да. Если ты просто перемещаешься,
если просто перемещаюсь, понятно. Надо, кстати, проверить.
Когда перемещаешься, есть задержка. Когда ты стрельбой перемещаешься, тогда все нормально.
Даже сейчас проверим.
Проверь.
Угу. Сейчас паладины запустятся. Вроде на SSD стоят, но не настолько быстро стартует. Версия 2.7. Значит, настоящая версия 2.6. Это у них официальная 2.7. Она ушла почему-то на одну вперед. Так. Зайдем куда-нибудь на стрельбище. Так, нужен Андро. Чем без разницы, что брать. Так, то есть вот так вот задержка есть. Так, у нас купим, чтобы побыстрее откатывалось. Сейчас попробуем пострелять. Ну, что-то... Либо я за Андро, не очень. Не, все равно какая-то херня. Может, ты освоил искусство перемещения с задержками, без задержек? Вот просто рывки. Херня. Вообще не то. Что за задержка, я не пойму. Full screen. Вертикалка отключена. Какая-то странная... Что это такое? Как мне целиться, блин? Я надеюсь, это временная фигня и только сейчас происходит. У меня пока не получилось без задержек перемещаться.
27, 32, 01, 12.
У меня не выходит, не знаю.
Вот, типа, индивидуальная херня.
Может, из-за того, что я за Андера практически не играю, и не знаю.
Да, типа, это не играешь,
Вообще.
не умеешь.
Может, только у тебя и у мейнеров Андера получается, но у меня что-то нет.
Блин, я даже так без задержек переместился. Без всяких стрельбы.
Ну, тут есть задержка. Вот я кнопку прям, ну, дрочу ее, ну, прям, смотри, сейчас откатится. Я даже правой рукой сделаю это намного быстрее.
О, сейчас есть. О, сейчас второй раз сделал на одну. Навык прожал, была задержка. Она когда как, походу. О, сейчас есть. Опять задержка.
Может, из-за быстрых нажатий она появляется. Но если стараться в такт, то кажется, что ее нет. Чё это было? Чё это было? Мне же не показалось. Да, мне не показалось. Здесь коллизию забыли добавить в углу. Ё-моё. То есть мы сейчас на наверху стоим, а мы еще вот тут вот, примерно на вот этом вот уровне. Здесь уголочек, оп, и все. Ну так вот, да. Если не тыкать прям постоянно, так вот кнопку не мучить, а нормально нажимать. Если приловчиться туда, скорее всего, ее, правда, можно избежать задержки, но раньше ее вообще не было. Ни при каких условиях. Но они это исправят, я надеюсь, что они не соврут. Потому что я отпробовал за Андера играть, но вот меня вот это вот уже сразу смутило, что она как-то криво работает. Да, исправили то, что ульта теперь работает, она не багуется. Терминус осталось пофиксить. И его ультимейт. Что он тоже ломается. Ладно. Спасибо за просмотр. Или кто посмотрит в записи. Хороших вам каток, поменьше овощей. Как выйдет ПТ, сразу же запишем материалы. И будем пилить обзор. Надеюсь, в этот раз побыстрее получится, чем обычно. Всем удачи, всем пока.